How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. As you can tell from the title of the video, we have got the Hybrid Racing aftermarket detent springs for, I was gonna say K-Series transmissions, but they will work with B-Series and a few others. Pretty much any Honda Trans that has, that's a manual transmission has these in some form or fashion. And I am legitimately one of the very first people to get some of these. It's not like Hybrid sent me out a special, beforehand version of what they're selling. I ordered these the day they dropped is the reason I'm saying this. So I'm sure tons of people out there have had them, but I'm trying to get, I'm trying to get a jump on everybody. So we're going to play a little musical chairs with the vehicles here, but we're gonna get the RSX pulled in here, get those installed, and then I'm gonna tell you guys what I think about them. All right, you guys, so you would have either seen in the last episode or maybe the episode after this, I don't know, can't tell you. Got the Hybrid Racing fuel rail and fuel pressure gauge installed. I've also installed the Hybrid Racing dipstick, oil cap, and the coil pack cover. So we've been doing a lot of Hybrid Racing stuff, you guys, and I'm pretty stoked about it. But this surgery, so to speak, is going to require us to remove the battery. I'd probably normally remove the cold air intake as well, but I've had to remove it several times over the course of a few weeks, working on this thing here and there. So I'm going to try to avoid removing as much as possible. But basically we're going to remove the battery tray, and then we're going to go from there, show you guys exactly what you got to do. And for this job, you guys, you're just going to need a couple of simple hand tools. Impact wrench makes everything a lot easier, but just a couple 10 mils, maybe a 14 through like a 17 millimeter socket here and there. But like I said, this job is really, really simple. So just a couple normal hand tools. Now let's dig into this. So we're going to remove the battery. I'm going to be putting the battery to sleep, so to speak, or putting the car to sleep. And a few people have mentioned this to me, and I'm actually really impressed that some of you actually have noticed this, but this battery is not correct for this car. And if you're one of the people that said that to me, you are 100% right. This battery is not correct for this car. Got a lot more cold cranking amps than the standard battery that comes in these cars, and I like it a lot for that. We're gonna jump straight into pulling the engine mount out. Should be just a couple 17s holding this thing in. So this is the main bolt that holds the transmission to the mount. Normally, you don't have to have a jack. There's enough mounts and everything holding the engine and transmission up that you don't have to. But if this bolt gives you some trouble coming out, undo the others and you should be home free. And if you're quick, this job should take you less than half an hour, I'd say. And especially if you've got decent impact tools. If this wasn't in there, I could probably get it out, because everything we need to get to is under this. All right, I'm not gonna mess with it. I'm just gonna take the mount out because that's what's gotta happen anyway. And any use of the impact wrench that you can use it. Makes this job a lot quicker. I need a 17 millimeter wrench. This guy. My only 17 millimeter wrench that I have. I like using normal wrenches like this from time to time. It makes me appreciate some of the amazing tools that we have today. It also really makes me wish that somebody hadn't stolen my gear wrenches. I used to have a whole bunch of gear wrenches and then someone stole them from me. So if any of you guys have the hookup with like Craftsman or really anybody, I'm a Craftsman fan, but I definitely use other tools other than Craftsman. Tecton, anybody like that, hit me up. Anything that works, I'm willing to try out. I've been looking at some Knipex stuff. It's a German company, if I'm not mistaken, and they make like awesome pliers and adjustable wrenches and things like that. Not sure if, I'm sure they make way more stuff than that, but that's just what I'm aware of. I gotta find a wrench that fits that big behemoth. I doubt it's gonna be a 3/4 inch, but hey, we can dream, can't we? That might actually work. Yeah, this is gonna work by some miracle. This is gonna take a while. Future me, throw in some badass music or something right here. Okay, this is officially taking too long. I'm taking the battery tray out. They are 12s. Okay, gonna make short work of them. Maybe this will work. And if I'm not mistaken, you don't have to take these out all the way. Should be one more. You just gotta loosen them and then pull up. Yep, there we go. Should have just done that from the get-go. There we go. Now we're all done. Perfect. Okay, so now that you've got your really nice expensive motor mount out, as you can probably tell, there's 3 bolts right here, and they are 12s. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take my air compressor and blow some compressed air down there real quick, just to help clean it out. There seems to be some rocks and dirt and stuff down there. So we're gonna start with this one right here. And I did spray a little bit of WD-40 on these guys. So we're gonna start with the lowest guy down here and work our way up. And you wanna do one at a time. I mean, you can do all 3 at once, but I'm just gonna do one at a time just to keep things even. So for a K-Series, as long as it's a manual transmission, which is the only way you can even use these springs, you got 3 of them in the package, and that's the only way they come. If you have a B-Series trans, you're only gonna use 2, but with a K-Series trans, you're gonna use all 3. So you're gonna reach down here, and I undid the lowest one first. And you have these bolts right here that have a hole in them. Now, there's the factory spring that you have to get out, but basically you just take your new spring, put it in the hole, and that's it. That's all you do. Reach down here, leave the washer. There's a washer in place down there, just leave it alone. There's a ball that goes on the end of the detent, excuse me. And here you can tell a physical difference in size. So you guys can tell there's a pretty sizable difference there. This is designed to help get it in gear and stay in gear. So you just simply take the new detent, stick it down here on top of the ball, stick the bolt back on top of that, and start hand threading in the bolt. And once it gets started, you can go ahead and torque it back down. And you may find it to be a little bit more difficult to get back down in there. Not difficult, but have a little bit more spring tension. That's precisely what you want. Get it down in there real nice. That's tight enough. Now we move on to the next ones. And you just repeat that step all 3 times. Okay, so that's all 3 springs out. I'm gonna wipe my hands down a little bit. Okay, so now that I got all three in there, I'm ready to torque it back down. And that is one of the simplest mods I think I have ever done in my entire life to a car. I mean, if you're talking about as far as difficulty is concerned, if the engine mount wasn't a factor, if you didn't have to deal with the engine mount, then I would say that this was, as far as difficulty is concerned, like a level 1. Anybody with basic hand tools can do this. If the engine mount was already out, all you need is an extension and a 12mm socket. And so now the installation is the reversal of the removal. We just got to put all this stuff back in, and then, I mean, that's it, we're done. And you guys have seen me put this in before, so I'm just gonna speed through this. Probably not gonna do much more talking, but we're gonna go out and we're gonna test drive this sucker and see what we think. All right, you guys, that's it. So now we just got to throw the battery back on. All right, so we have all the original springs right here. I'm going to save them for now because, I mean, you may not like it. You may not like what this does to your car. I really don't see why you wouldn't, but it's definitely a possibility. I mean, some people do mods and they're like, you know what, this isn't for me. I liked it the way it was before. And if that's the case, then more power to you. I mean, it's really... I mean, if we talk about the philosophy of modifying cars, it's like, are you doing it because you want to do it, or are you doing it because the internet told you to do it? I mean, if you're new to the game, and you really don't know what to do, I mean, sure, looking online, looking on the forums, that's definitely a good thing to do. Definitely do research before you get into it, for sure. But I mean, don't just do something because everyone else is, you know what I mean? Like, be different. Perfect. Job done. No jack involved, no jack stands, nothing. All done in the time frame that you guys are seeing this video in. I'm saying 30 minutes tops. So let's go see how it rides. First start, you guys. Let's see how she goes. No issue. Close this off. It's kind of warm today in a weird way. Seatbelt's going on, you guys. For those of you that are used to it beeping in here constantly. All right. Ooh. First shift into reverse. Whoa. That's different. Whoa. Shifting into first. Wow, that is so cool. Oh my goodness. Wow, that is so freaking cool. Into third? Wow. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, it's just so precise feeling. Oh my God, I'm not even like trying to play it up. I know me saying that makes you guys think that, probably make you guys think that even more, but I'm really not. Like, it's like a buttery smooth, like, bolt action rifle now, you guys. Oh my God, that is so freaking cool. Let's get out here to the road and see, like, the main road away from the cop's house. Wow, that is crazy. That is insane. So now I've got the Hybrid Racing shifter spring upgrade in my transmission, and I've also got the Hybrid Racing shifter detent springs. So all the springs in my transmission that control shifting have been changed out to the Hybrid Racing units. It is so buttery smooth, you guys. That is literally crazy. Like, I mean, I've got to give some credit to the transmission fluid too. That if you go back in one of my previous videos where I actually installed the shifter springs, I actually did a transmission fluid change, and I put in some AC Delco transmission fluid. I'll put links to everything that I've done to the car so far down in the description. It's mostly just hybrid racing stuff, and it's got a factory clutch in it. The clutch went out at about 100,000 miles, and I swapped it out for an Exedi OEM style clutch. I've actually got some really old footage of me installing the clutch in this car back when I first got it in 2015. But all I'm saying is that the only thing that I've done to this transmission is put pretty much a OEM spec clutch in it from Exedi. Transmission fluid change with the AC Delco fluid that I've linked in the description. And hybrid racing springs, all the different springs that you can put in this transmission. In total there are 5. So there's the large and smaller shifter springs, and then the 3 D10 springs. And I mean, I can only imagine how this transmission is going to feel once I'm done doing everything I'm going to do to it. Or maybe not transmission, but shifting experience, because I'm planning on getting the upgraded shifter cables. I want to get those, and eventually the actual hybrid racing adjustable shifter. Like that's a big thing that I want to get. I'm just not super focused on that right now, because all of my money that's going into the car, I'm just kind of saving it, and I'm putting it towards the K24 build. So like, I'm getting parts for it, or at least I'm saving up to get parts for it. So I've got some big plans in store, you guys, but I just can't execute all those plans right now, or at least not all at once. Like, it's going to come in spurts. My little girl is only about 5 weeks away, a little bit over 5 weeks away, so we're super excited about that. That's, you know, put me at a halt as far as like doing stuff to cars and bikes is concerned. And don't get me wrong, I'm perfectly okay with that. I've reached a state in my mind where I can feel myself changing, and I feel like that happens to a lot of men as they get older. It's like you have revelations about things, and it's like you just don't care about some stuff anymore. It's not a bad thing. It's just, you know, I don't care about video games as much as I used to. Like, that used to be my life, and now it's like I'd rather spend more time outside with my dog and hanging out with my wife and things like that. So but I do have big plans for the car, and that's not going to change. It's not that I have stopped caring about the car, it's just that I've got bigger and better things coming up in my life. So but this is my baby. It always will be. It may not always be my daily driver, or it may not always be my main race car, because that's every guy's dream, I suppose. But it's always going to be my baby, because this is the car that I spent a whole bunch of money on, and it's the car that I picked out. I didn't have any help getting this car. It's been mine, and man, those shifts are awesome. These shifts are so great. It literally feels like a nice, well broken bolt action rifle, you guys. Like, that is the best explanation I can give. But I got this car, it's mine. I picked it out, I paid it off. I went through the trials and struggles and everything of having a car payment back when I couldn't technically afford a car payment, but I did it. And you guys have heard that story before, but man, I can't say enough about these springs. I know I'm getting off topic, but I mean, that's what happens here. So anyways, I'm gonna head back to the house now. I got a couple other things that I'm gonna do today, but as far as making videos is concerned, I think I'm done making videos for today, you guys. So I want to thank you all so much for checking out this video. I'm hoping that this is the very first video on YouTube talking about the experience of installing and then driving with the hybrid racing D10 springs. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you annihilate that subscribe button. If you haven't already, I really do appreciate you guys' support. Make sure you share this video with your friends, your family, and your dog. Your dog always the most important person. And as always, guys, I will see you in the next video. Take care and have a great night.